Hey, what up, though? And you know what? How appropriate, because we are going to have a Swisher break segment at some point in time today. But, you know, we got to talk about these Detroit Pistons who now sit just one game. I know that we have to look at it this way. Really, it's 1.5 games because we don't own the tiebreakers right now with the Pacers or the Bucks behind the 4th and the 5th seed. But these are a couple teams that if the Pistons could catch their stride, I did believe, you know what, they might be able to have a chance to pass one or both of them, and they're going to have that opportunity. They have come out of the All-Star break hitting the ground running, which is exactly what Kay Cunningham told us they wanted to do at All-Star Game. So let's get the legend drum rolled in here, and we will talk about these Pistons, man. Hey, yo! Shout out and welcome to the legend, Detroit News, Rod Beard. What up, though, brother? And I see a little post-it note over your left shoulder there. We'll you know what?
Here we go.
We'll kick things off with Rod's thoughts, and then you know what? I gotta say, well done, Detroit Pistons fans. Take it away, Rod Beard.
These dudes are for real, man. These dudes are for real. Last week when we talked, they were on a 3-game win streak, and now they're on a 7-game win streak. So they're at 32.
The Post-it note.
So let me tell you about this Post-it note. My wife came in here and she was like, KG 42 wins. I'm like, hey, KG on the pod said they're going to get to 42 wins. She said 42 would be good. I was like, They're already like 30. And she was like, they're going to win 12 more games. Exactly. How do you know this? And KG is this is where we are in the world right now.
Oh my God.
KG lives right here.
Right. This sticky note has absolutely terrorized my life this whole week. I've been under emotional duress from people in the chat, from people that I know, that I be around. They like, KG, what's up with the 42? And I'm like, what you talking about? They like the sticky note. I'm like, what sticky note? And then I got to think back to how you did me, right? So, you know what? I wanted to come in here today humbly and address this because, much like Jalen Duren, I must admit, I was playing on some soft shit, man. I was. So I am here today to right my wrongs, and I'm here to present you.
No. Do you. You got it. You gonna do you.
No. I do believe this is doing me because I had a momentary lapse of, just being a safe Pistons fan. So I want to up the ante a little bit.
No, you can't. You stick to No, we're getting shirts that say KG 42 wins. That's the new merch.
I got you. Hey, JB, can you make that happen for the legend, Mr. Rod Beard?
I got
Come
you.
on, Rod. Come on, Rod.
I will get one made. I will get one
shirt my God.
That says KG 42 wins.
Listen, Ryan, I realize that I let you and the fans down. I do realize that. But I would like a chance to right my wrongs today.
What you going to do? What you going to say?
I'm willing to go 51.
Whoa. You went well.
I'm willing, 46. And I will guarantee the 4th seed.
Whoa. We might have to have a bet on the line or something. Look at Flannel's face.
That is more than everybody on this show. That is more wins than everybody on this show said. I am willing to stand here today and go 51 in the 4th seed.
Hey, yo. You can't do that.
Why can't I, Rod? Why can't I do that?
Was there a pre-show Swisher break? There had to be a pre-show Swisher break. And 1800. Are you gonna promise 1800 too? Hey,
no,
we can sponsor all of this.
Listen,
1800 on the shoulder. You can't do this.
Why can't I? Why can't I?
That's not how this works.
It's either 42 or 51.
No, it can't be either one. 42 is. I refuse.
Sticky don't lose.
51. No, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Dog.
That's what it is.
Ride now, let me out of this. I see.
He is not.
No,
JB.
no, you stuck on 42.
We're
Stuck on 40. That thing stuck on the wall. You stuck on 42.
You know what, JB? Here's the handshake in the middle. This is the kumbaya. We need the 42 T-shirts, okay? But we also need the counter for the 51.
Rod talking about he want a hoodie.
We got to get Rod a hoodie.
Me and KG have to get hoodies.
You know what? Rod is our second merch giveaway.
You're right.
Give him a hoodie. We're making this happen, man. Dog, this is epic right now. And you know what? Let's put the counter on there, too.
All right.
51. Is there anything you're willing to put on that?
51?
Anything I wanted to put on that.
Yep.
Come on, Skip. Put
You said you standing on it.
Put a case of dew on it, Skip.
That's a good question. Ryan, what do you... I'm liking this so far.
It's
We
a
cooking.
Vegas hook to this. Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to do something.
Yeah, we're going to think about it.
We're
All right.
going to have the hangover 4.
I like how this is cooking.
Let's
It's
rock.
going to be the Swisher break. Instead of the hangover, it's going to be the Swisher break. That's the name of the new franchise.
All right, bet. Let's do it.
Bro, yo, this is already epic start to this thing. And you know why? It's because the Detroit Pistons have been on an absolute heater. You got 24 games left in the season. They're already at 32 wins, man. Like, this is going to be an interesting finish because they're playing
19-5. He's saying 19-5.
You goddamn right I am. You
That's
goddamn
gonna be
Hey,
insane.
guess who ain't lost the
We're
game?
letting him.
Guess who hasn't lost the game since the trade deadline and only lost a couple since the new year? I was playing on some soft shit. I admit it. 51.
Listen, I'm telling people, man,
51.
Take into account since the 0-4 start, this team has been 32-22, and it doesn't matter wherever you set the metrics after that 0-4 start. The Pistons have been one of the best teams in the league. You know what else the Pistons are a top 10 team in? Hey, JB, do you have that attendance stat? I got to say what up, though, to the people, man. The Detroit Pistons fans, they are now pushed this thing to their highest ranking in some time. They are top 10, number 10 in the league right now as it relates to attendance. And you know what? That last game was one where I came away, Rod, with like, yo, there's a different energy here in this building right now. And from start to finish, it started to really feel like those old days. And I remember how it was when they made the playoffs with Blake Griffin, they made the playoffs with Andre Drummond, and we were happy because we hadn't seen that in a long time. We had a little bit more hope after Andre Drummond, but after the Blake Griffin one, people were just like, well, at least we got this. Now we got something where this team is not just sneaking into the playoffs. The way that things are trending right now, they're looking like one of the more formidable teams entering the playoffs, and you got future ahead of you, and that's where we see these Pistons here. I've talked to a couple Pistons fans. I've talked to some season ticket holders. Some of our chat family has as well, and they said that the fans that are coming back to the arena are saying that they're getting vibes that they haven't seen since the going to work era. So shout out to the Detroit Pistons fans getting into that arena. The Pistons are going to need it. Starting even tonight, you got a big battle with the Boston Celtics because right now the word around the league, including from NBA.com, is that the Pistons can't beat good teams, Rod.
Okay, they don't have to. Well, unless you're KG and they're going to go 19-5 in a finishing slate where they got Boston, Denver, they got OKC twice, and Cleveland. So those are your 5 losses. But in reality, yes, these big games and the home games are going to be important down the stretch. And the other side of that is they got Washington twice. So there are some opportunities here for them to have some good home games to stack up some wins. In that 4-5 matchup, either way, as the 4, as the 5, I would love to see them as the number 4 team hosting a playoff series. That would be a dramatic turnaround that everybody should be able to celebrate.
It would be epic, and I do believe that this is a playoff run. You're going to see the entire city turn up. Because like I'm saying, this is one that you can really build around. And when we talk about turning up, the Detroit Pistons defense has turned up. And before I give you guys this graphic of just how good the Pistons have been over the last 7 games, all right, there's 2 teams that are on 7-game winning streaks right now, and both of them have some ties to JB Bickerstaff, his current team and his old team in the cast. But JB, hey, JB, you're the namesake. And the first person I heard say JB Bickerstaff should be the guy was JB Smooth. You got that video I sent in of him on the sidelines? I promised you guys sideline JB Bickerstaff is a vibe. And there was 25 seconds left to go in the quarter. The Pistons were kind of on a run, and it looked like the Clippers were trying to get a look at whatever their inbound play was going to be, and they left like 6 players on the floor. And JB Bickerstaff was just going ham. And what makes this kind of funny is that before the game, Tyronn Lue was like, no, bro, I text him all the time. I think he's a great coach. I tell him, bro, the job you're doing is amazing. You just got to work on one thing, your sideline antics. So it's like with that in mind, it's interesting to see JB Bickerstaff getting so worked up. And Ty Lue looks like a little brother, just like even like doing the same things that JB is doing. So, hey, but you see the energy. You see the players even getting upset as well. And I just think that a lot of that fire, a lot of that passion is what's fueling what we see right now. Hey, you got that clip, JB?
Oh, yeah.
Let's rock.
Oh, no. Rod didn't put another sticky note up.
Rod is the.
Dog, man, look, there's so much going on in that video. Shout out to Tobias Harris. He was signaling that they need to call a T, but he was only using one finger to make the T,
use the right timeout. Use the right.
That whole team is just like on 10. I even think back to Ron Holland. I'm like, when I look back at when he was like putting his dukes up, he wasn't even really provoked. It was just the energy. And he looked at Jordan Clarkson and was like, come on, we doing this? And Clarkson even looked like, what are we doing? And it's just like, you know what? This team and the energy that they have right now, JB Bickerstaff has just come in and he's not laying down. He's not taking anything from anybody. Last year, there were even plays when people were like, Monty, please just challenge the call. And he just wouldn't. And the reports will come out like, yeah, they probably should have challenged the call. This year, you see JB Bickerstaff fighting for those guys. And what we see now is the Pistons out there on the court fighting at a level that not a lot of people expected them to be able to do. And let me see that stat real quick, JB, if you have it, this graphic. It's interesting to see what these Pistons have been in the last 7 games. And this is via Sleeper Hoops as well. And you see there the Pistons ranks in the last 7 games. They are 3rd in offense, 2nd in defense, and their net rating, number 1 overall team. That just sounds like beautiful music to my ears. And it's this perfect combination of the vets that they've brought in with the young players that we've believed in, and now a coaching staff that's putting them in the right position to succeed, Rod.
Oh,
audio.
Wait. There we go.
Oh, is that us? Hey, what up, though, Rod? There you go.
At the beginning of the season, it's exactly what we said, is this needed some time and to coagulate a little bit. And when they figured it out, they would start to take off, and we're seeing that now. It's just a different sort of vibe around this team. Defensive intensity where Asar is just blocking stuff off the backboard and Holland is doing the same thing. They're running around and dunking on people. Isaiah Stewart has got them stoked every game. And Cade is just being Cade. I mean, that's the formula that you're starting to see in all of this, is that they're all playing on the same sort of plane and they're coming together at the right time. And Cade in these last 6 games, 27 points, 9.5 assists, 6.3 rebounds, and that's somewhere around his season average. But he's been playing this way. This isn't anything new where he's blowing up and scoring 40 a game. We're seeing more of these 30-plus point games, but he's getting people involved. And now that you've got Dennis Schroeder to kind of offset and augment, and I think the last game that I was at was right after the Schroeder trade, and I asked JB, like, can he be a finisher, Schroeder, be a finisher defensively because of what he adds? And he said, yeah, that's what we want him for, is somebody who can handle, who can close defensively and take some of that pressure off Cade. That's why I think that trade was so masterful for them.
Yeah, you remember one of the more instrumental plays of the game against the Clippers, I believe it was the Clippers, is when he was coming off of a pick, and it was at the end of one of the quarters, and he put the moves on him, got in, put up the high floater, and it dropped in. And it's like, you know, we haven't really had that since Jaden Ivey was there. And you know what? There was this interesting stat of the top 10 players with the worst off-ball playmaking talent. So when they're off-ball, just how little passing they actually have around them. Do you know who was number 1 and number 4 on this list? Marcus Sasser was number 1. Cade Cunningham was number 4.
Ooh.
They do not have a lot of facilitation around them, and it backs up what I've been saying, especially about Marcus Sasser and Cade. Both of those guys are going to be helped by adding another facilitator to this lineup. And that just was alarming, because how good they are right now, they can get even better with just minor tweaks going into the offseason. But they have themselves in a good position right now, bringing in a Dennis Schroeder, who's going to be able to help to change that skewed stat for Marcus Sasser and Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, and Rod, speaking of Cade Cunningham, you mentioned his numbers over the last 6 games. I'm glad you did it so I don't have to, but they are better than what they've done, what he's been over the totality of the season, which means he's taken a leap. And over the past 9 games, they're even better than what you mentioned. He's doing it efficiently, shooting over 50% from 3 coming out of the All-Star break, which is awesome, getting to the free throw line as well in the last game. That being said, what is it going to take, both with numbers-wise and team success-wise, to get legitimate traction in terms of MVP votes? And I want it from your perspective when it comes to the people who will actually vote on this.
He will get MVP votes. There will be media members who will put him on as number 5 or number 4 maybe. He will get votes right now. The trick is going to be a mass of votes across the country. The beat writer, and I'm just making these up, for the Timberwolves, the beat writer for the Hornets, those folks recognizing what Cade is doing, and that has to be sort of a pitch that the Pistons put out there, and they don't do a lot of promoting their players for postseason awards. This year, I think they might. I would say Cade, he might not win, but sometimes you're going to see, you get things like, I remember getting a cat cab. It was a Karl Anthony Towns thing, and they put together this marketing material thing for him to win MVP or 6 man or something like that. Those are the types of things that you have to do to let people know, and a press kit to let people know, hey, Cade is out there. And so it'll take some of that on-court stuff, the numbers, and he'll need to continue what he's doing. The Pistons, if they get to a 4 or a 5 seed, that'll add to it. Will he finish in the top 3? Probably not. It will mean something if he finishes in that 4 or 5 range, though.
Yeah, definitely. And I do believe that some Detroit Pistons players who are going to help themselves immensely, because we know it's always a year or 2 behind until people actually show or tip that cap. Where the Pistons can accelerate or make sure that it's just a year behind is what they do to finish this season, and the type of exclamation point they can leave when they do get into the playoffs. Cade, Duren, all these guys, they're saying playoffs. Our mindset is playoffs. We got to have this type of defensive intensity in the playoffs. They're not thinking anything less of their standard. And I do believe if they do that, guys like Duren and guys like Asar Thompson are going to be able to accelerate the type of attention that they're going to get from national media. I do believe you're going to instantly see Asar Thompson mentioned in the names of all the other all-defensive talent out there, all defensive team talent. I do believe he'll have a great shot at making that next year, especially when you see just how good this Pistons defense has been since he's gotten back from injury. So, you know.
And one thing to keep an eye on here, too, if the Pistons play the Knicks, that will accelerate a lot of this notoriety, too. If they're out there playing the Bucks in the 4-5 game, the Pacers is an exciting matchup, but it's not a national matchup that people are going to pay attention to. It's not going to lead SportsCenter. Pistons-Knicks, that leads SportsCenter as the 4-5 matchup, or the 3-6 even. So just getting on that national stage where national people are paying attention to you is what's going to make this where the Pistons are on top of mind for people. And I saw it on SportsCenter the other day. The Pistons were like one of the I forget which show it was, but it's there. They're starting to get that notice. It's going to take a little bit more. I think it was SVP, the late SportsCenter. He had a segment on the Pistons and the rise that they're making. So you're going to see some more of that, but it's going to be there.
I know Tim Legler as well. Shout out to the All-NBA podcast. Tim Legler and his co-host, they actually followed us yesterday, which was dope. So shout out to them. And then I also saw they did a feature on Cade Cunningham and these Detroit Pistons. So, yeah, they are definitely starting to pop up on everybody's radar. And by next year, especially how they quit themselves in the postseason, I don't think that they're going to find themselves having to fight. They're just going to have to continue to stay consistent and grow as it relates to the wins and prove that this isn't just a flash in the pan. And you know what? Before we get into Swisher break, just really quickly, what's everybody's game prediction for tonight? You got the Boston Celtics and the Detroit Pistons at home. Do you feel the Pistons? And Rod, we'll come to you last. But Flannel Sam, how you feeling about this game tonight?
2-point win. I think their one loss on the homestand comes to the Nuggets.
Hey, what up, though, KG?
No, I'm in agreement. Every time we've saw the Lakers to this point, we've competed with them. I mean, not the Lakers, the Celtics. Every time we've seen them to this point, we have been able to compete with them, although we haven't been able to finish the job. This is a different look. I see the new sticky note, right? I see it. But, hey, that's cool. But, no, I think they get another close dogfight game, but they pull this one out at home.
JB Smooth.
I agree with KG. This is going to be a dogfight game at home, but I still got the Celtics taking this one at least by 2. This will be a real close game, though.
Yeah, I kind of feel that as well, but I do believe it's going to be one of those ones where the Pistons win by 7.
Okay.
I feel like this is going to be one of the ones where the energy is there, where Malik Beasley is absolutely turned up, where Cade Cunningham and what playing the Boston Celtics has meant throughout his career, I feel like they're going to turn up tonight. I really do. You're at home. You're on Woodward. It's going to be above freezing in winter. It's like turn up, man. And that's the energy of the fans in the building. I think is going to be one of those difference makers for them tonight. But Rod, you know what? Hold on. Willie B, man. You're going to be there tonight as well.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, what up, though, man?
Hey, what up, though? What up, though?
Just real quick, man. Give your take. I don't know how much you've been on the Woodward Pistons platform.
All
so
the time.
We make sure, man, we get your take on the Boston Celtics.
Almost definitely. All the underestimating from Boston Celtics. Let's put it this way: it's gonna be a dogfight, and I'm looking for a dogfight, especially the front court. Who gonna stop Tatum? Who gonna stop Brown? It takes a team to go stop them too, because 2 guys can't dominate the game. So I feel like we need to smack them guys up win by 5 points. Smack them up because they've been talking.
This might be an Asarge Thompson game.
Smack
What say ye, Rod Beard, before we get to Swisher Brick?
I'm going to say this is a loss. These 2 games against the past 2 NBA champions are going to be a measuring stick, but I think they fall short tonight. And the Celtics are taking it seriously because they rested Drew Holiday and Al Horford, and they have a back-to-back. If you're going to rest somebody, you typically rest them on the second game of a back-to-back. They rested their guys on the first game because they know this Pistons game is important.
So what Jalen Brown was saying in the offseason of, we know we can just let our bench players and less heralded players walk into Detroit and get 30. They're not taking that approach this time, huh?
No, I think they're coming in full roster trying to make a statement on this and show Pistons are on the come up, that we're still the Celtics and we're still going to do something. I think it'll be a close single-digit game, but I think the Celtics managed to pull it out.
Hey, you know what? DJ Willie B, let's get the music going. KG, let's rock, man. We got to get into Swisher Break. Where's that graphic at?
No.
Looks so good. It looks way better than that sticky note.
Hey, in the top right corner, can we get a 42 up there?
Rod, absolutely not. We cannot get that, but I do have these Swish or Brick statements for you today. So, Rod, you ain't shit, Rod. You my guy, but you ain't shit. All right. Number 1, Swish or Brick. All right. Swish or Brick. Cade Cunningham is a lock for all NBA or for a all-NBA team, Swish or Brick? An
absolute lock. We've talked about it before, and this is the question to remove it off of our Swish or Brick in the future. Cade Cunningham, highest ranking the Pistons have been in. They've had 2 other people make it when they made the playoffs as 8 seed. That's Andre Drummond, Blake Griffin. Cade Cunningham deserves it, especially if Pistons stay at the pace of 6 seed or higher. What say ye, Flannel Sam?
Swish. The only guards that I can think of this year that are even in his league or just a little bit better are SGA and Anthony Edwards. So by that logic, given how well Cade Cunningham has played, given how well the Pistons have played, he is an absolute lock. I'm at this point not even nervous about it, given the fact that he keeps up this level.
JB Smooth.
Oh, this is an absolute switch. Like Flannel said, there are no more nerves about it anymore. There are no more questions. This is an absolute lock. I mean, just pencil him in. That's it.
Would it be?
Swish. You know, Cade deserved every bit of it, and he been showing them day in and day out on offense and defense to get team involved. Now, He had to be first team, second team. Either way, he deserved it.
KG?
Hey, Rod, you already know how I feel about this. We've debated back and forth about all of NBA. He's going to make it. He's going to make it. And if he continues to go out here and play like this, and like I brought up last week, he's even taking his scoring up to another notch. If he can continue to do that, I'm sorry, Rod, there is not 6 people you can put in front of Cade Cunningham and keep him off of one of these all-NBA teams.
Hey, Rod.
I'm going to use your words. If he can continue this, he has to continue this. The question says, is he a lock? Today, he is not a lock, but I think he will end up being there for the end.
Okay, not bad. Well, maybe you'll feel a little different about this one. The Pistons will sweep most improved player, 6th man of the year, and coach of the year, Swish or Brick.
You already see what this
parlay. That's a whole parlay.
That's a whole parlay.
And it's looking good.
The Pistons postseason award parlay. JB Bickerstaff, the competition he's probably going to have is as it relates to his old team, but I do believe the turnaround they've had and the fact that this team is going to be firmly in a race for the 4th and the 5th seed, even if they land with the 6th seed, already shows JB Bickerstaff has done his thing. Malik Beasley, Threesley, are you serious right now? 6th man of the year, and he's doing special things from behind the arc. And his off-ball gravity, he is number 4 in the league in terms of off-ball gravity in the top 10. Number 4 in the league. Do you understand how much space that's opened up for a guy that we all believe is going to get at least some top 10 MVP consideration in Cade Cunningham? And that guy, Cade Cunningham, most improved player. This is one that, to a small degree, we feel like it's a cleanup for the media for all of the misses to this point. But Cade Cunningham is deserving of most improved player if you're talking about anybody else. Flannel Sam, I know you already gave your declaration. You don't want them to win it because you don't want the media to have their cleanup or what the implication could be. But what say you, man, with the sweep or no?
No, I'm going to go Brick on this one because I think at least when it comes to 6th man of the year and most improved player, there's some legitimate competition. I think you could argue Peyton Pritchard for 6th man of the year. I think you could argue Norman Powell for most improved player. It's really hard to sweep all the awards. And heck, I don't think he deserves it, but what if they give the coach of the year to Kenny Atkinson? I think that would be a crock, but asking them to give all of those awards to Pistons players, I just think that's a little bit too much.
JB Smooth.
Yeah, this is a brick. I don't think this is going to happen, but this will be one hell of a parlay as well, too. I just think a lot of Pistons guys are going to get overlooked at this point, so it's a brick for me.
Will it be?
Unfortunately, it's a break because, the 6th man is locked in for either guys like Norman Powell and Malik Beasley has been awesome off the bench and produce every time you go on the court. I think it's tough to have it in most improved player of the year. Cade was been that guy a couple of years, but he had to go somewhere else. That's it.
It's crazy. I get ridiculed for 42, and I'm one of the biggest slappies in here. This is a Swish. What are we talking about?
What do you mean?
Let's go.
Flannel. Kenny
knocked out Rod.
Let me say this: if Kenny Atkinson wins Coach of the Year, we fucking riot.
I agree.
We ride out. Because what are we talking about?
Right now.
What has he added to the Cavaliers that JB Bickerstaff did?
Talk
A
about
little
it.
bit better regular season. A little bit
I
better.
don't care about none of it. JB Bickerstaff built that team. He has not added any more nuance than what they already had. They're just playing better. But no, I'm not buying that. If we talking 6th man of the year, I mean Malik Beasley, you can make an argument, but Malik Beasley has been around the top of the league in terms of shooting, just everything he's provided this Pistons team up to this point. And like we said, most improved player, that's a lock for Cade at this point. So this is an absolute Swish.
Y'all see what y'all did? You got Rod over here writing another sticky note.
Right. Yeah, go ahead. We sweeping. I'm standing on that. I'm standing on it.
Adiz says 2 out of 3 awards.
I'm standing on business.
Look, we got some bricks. We got some swishes. Adiz 411 says brick, but he does believe the Pistons will get 2 out of 3 awards. Which 2 of those awards, Adiz? Put them in the chat. Let me see. Mitten Mate, a rounding out. DNCNT. Cade isn't MIP. Norman Powell should take that award. And he says the number 1 pick shouldn't be eligible for MIP unless it's like Markelle Fultz. I mean, hey, in my opinion, Cade missed a whole year. He came into the league with a stress fracture, missed the season, and has bounced back beautifully in a way that did anybody outside of like us slappies predict Cade to be? Because the record shows number 67 is what they say.
Oh, you know what? It's funny because I'm on the, and Rod, I'll let you in on this. I'm on the I don't want Cade to win most improved player because he was already that guy before, and just he's got more competence around him. I mean, last year he was a 23.7 assist guy on similar efficiency to this year. But when you remind me how ESPN had him ranked 67 just a few spots ahead of that bum Brandon Pajemski, that makes me think, you know what? Give him most improved. Give him most improved.
Rod was saying that was another classic moment in the show too.
Yeah.
When you and Rod crashed out over.
Maybe calling him a bum is a little bit of a reach, but compared to Cade, not even in the same stretch.
Is it though?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
All right, so I agree with Flannel Sam.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey.
The media will not let Detroit have nice things. They will not give you all three. They will look at the ballot and say, even if somebody wrote down all three, they would erase one and say, I can't give them three things. I can give them one, maybe even two. I can't give them all three. This is a massive air ball. They're not going to get all three.
Air
But they
ball?
will get maybe one. They're going to get one, but they cannot get three.
But Rod, if the Pistons,
I will stand on that.
but Rod, if they continue to rise in the standings, you don't think they have to show a little bit of love the other way? I do get the national media part of it, but if the Pistons were to get to a 4 seed, like, what are we talking about?
We're talking about the media. We're talking about basketball writers. That's what we're talking about. These are not.
It is what it is.
These are not normal people. These are not always well-informed, rational people in the way that they vote. They can cover their beat very well, but knowing the entire league is not a strong suit for everyone.
All right,
Let's get to.
I stand down.
We got time for at least one more. Let's rock.
All right, number 3, the best matchup for the Pistons to win a playoff series is the Knicks. Swish or brick?
And you say that one more time for us.
The best matchup for the Pistons to win a playoff series is the Knicks. Swish or brick?
Ooh. You know what? We've seen Cade Cunningham have success in Madison Square Garden and against the Knicks in particular. I know that last 6 games or some that people like to highlight, but the Pistons haven't had the most success. This year, though, has been where it's been different. They've gone into Madison Square and Cade has taken it over a couple times, and it looked like they've matched it well. And that was before we had Jalen Duren at the level he's at now. Asar Thompson at the level he's at now. And you know what? Cat even went off in one of those wins. But Flannel Sam, what say you? Because I know there's some people out there who believe it might be the Pacers, who they just showed up with one All-Star just like the Pistons do. But when you look at the Knicks, you got a couple MVP candidates.
All right, I'm going to cop out slightly. I'm going to go anybody but the Bucks. I think that the Pistons could potentially match up well against the Pacers and the Knicks, and I think both of those series would be a coin flip. Just I don't want any part of what Giannis Antetokounmpo has to bring in the first round of a playoff series. So I'm going to go a slight brick because I think the Pacers and the Knicks both present a unique challenge in which it's a coin flip.
JB Smooth.
Cade owns Madison Square Garden, so I'm just saying right now, this is a swish for me. Easy swish, easy bucket.
What ability?
Swish, man. You know, I love seeing New York getting smacked up, man. So that case, it's a good team, but no, if we got it together, we could beat the Knicks. We could dominate in the Knicks if we can. If we just put our front courts together, the bully Karl-Anthony Towns, when Karl-Anthony Towns played in the playoffs, he folded. Like he did last year with the Timberwolves. He folded. And Jalen Brunson can't do everything by himself. So in that case, if we go against the Knicks, we gonna upset them.
Bro, look, KG, you go, the chat want the Knicks to look like.
Yeah, we want New York. Nah, Flannel, if you had to pick one between those two teams, who would you pick, though?
Who do I think that the Pistons would?
Yeah, what's the best matchup for them to win a playoff series?
Pacers.
All right. Well, with this one, I will go Swish. just based off what we've seen in the regular season. And I know the playoffs are a different animal, but when you just look at how we match up, and I think the biggest thing is taking Karl Anthony Towns out of that game, because Jalen Brunson, it is what it is. We got Cade, we got Dennis Schroeder, we got Asar if we need to. There's a multitude of ways that we can defend Jalen Brunson, but in terms of the cat matchup, you're really going to need Duren to step up. You're really going to need Isaiah Stewart to step up, and we saw Beef Stew actually handle Karl Anthony Towns pretty well on the perimeter. So I think that does present
like being touched.
Yeah, dog, hey, for real. So I think this is the best matchup for them to win a playoff series because, we've kind of seen them go against the Pacers. They're a little bit better on the perimeter than I think the Knicks are. And we don't want nothing Giannis is bringing because that's just always a bad matchup. We don't match up well against Giannis.
Usage in the playoffs is it's insane. And you don't want to deal with that. And then it just allows for Dame Lillard to pick his spots.
Yeah.
And it's just a horrible 1-2 combo. I look at it in the East this year. It's like you got to go back some generations, until you see like some duos that could attack you that way.
It is the Knicks, but then it's also the Pacers. The thing I might be concerned about with the Knicks is that it's Madison Square Garden. Cade plays well at MSG. Is that playoff stage with the Knicks fans and the national media and everything too big a stage for an inexperienced Pistons team to handle? That's one. The and one is the Pacers because there's enough hatred that's there that they just don't like each other.
Yeah.
And the Pacers bench is very, very vulnerable. The Knicks is too. But I think the Pacers would be they have something to fight for and to go out and play every game for because there's a genuine dislike there that I think they match up well with them too. So I would say either one of them. And I've seen Giannis up close do very objectionable things and almost illegal things to the Pistons. I don't want to see that again.
Not at all. And you know what, man, what's awesome about this is that we're talking about Detroit Pistons potential playoff matchups with just 24 games left to go in the season. It's no longer like in the beginning of the season when we were like, postseason Pistons, they're 10th in postseason after an 0-4 start.
It's a thing.
But now it's real. This team is one of the hottest in the league over not just the last 7-game winning streak, not just the last month, not just the last 30 to 60 days, but you can go back to since that 0-4 start, 32-22 is just one of the best teams in the NBA. That's your Detroit Pistons, but they have to keep that foot on. Since they started 0-4, they are 32-22 on the season.
Oh, but they're only gonna win 10 more games. They're only gonna win 10 more games.
Right?
He set that up brilliantly.
That was last week's take, Rod. That was last week's take. It's expired now.
Oh,
it's expired. That's right.
They're gonna win 19. They're gonna go 19.
Yep, there it is. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one.
Hey, you know what? Shout out Bridget Dyer. You guys are fire today. We appreciate all of the support. And you know what? Support those Pistons. They got a game tonight against the Celtics at home. Friday night against the Denver Nuggets. Sunday against Killian Hayes and those Brooklyn Nets.
The Brooklyn Nets.
Why?
Killer coming to town. Watch out. Killer coming to town.
Hey, you know what? Support it, man. I can't wait. And it's awesome to know, like, you know, with the Woodward Pistons podcast platform, it's a bunch of people in here who mess with the Pistons. It makes the conversation epic. It's dope. We get to host these things with your Flannel KG and crew, man. This has been epic. And obviously the legend Rod Beard, Detroit News Rod Beard, brother. As always, thank you for joining the show. Any last words, bro?
We keep going like this, I'm gonna have a whole new wallpaper of KG.
Hey, I feel better about these next 2 sticky notes, though. I feel a lot better about them.
Put it on a hoodie.
Put it on the hoodie. We gonna work on something, Rod. JBR, I know he already on it. We gonna work on something.
Oh my gosh, dog. Yo, you know what, man?
No, appreciate y'all.
I appreciate you, Rod. You the man. We love you.
Detroit News, sports editor-in-chief Rod Beard. Great person, great professional, man. And you know what? Great entertainment, man. It's been cinema today. Thank you for giving us your time, Rod. And you know what? Like I said, guys, go out there and support these Pistons. I see the chat is blowing up as well, man. Thank you guys for the support. Go ahead and smash that like button and make sure you guys get over to the Detroit News and peruse what they got going on as well, especially right now. We're We're gonna have Cody back on the show too because
Shout out.
I forgot the person who actually was more bullish about the Pistons on this show than KG was actually Cody Davis, who said, "I'm telling you guys, I saw the Houston Rockets. I saw their renaissance. The Pistons are in line next. I saw it with my own eyes. I'm seeing it right here." So we're gonna have him back when he is a Detroit News Pistons beat writer, and he's been doing a heck of a job. Shout out to him, first time All-Star as well. So, you know what? I gotta tell the people though about Lady Jane's haircuts for me. At Lady Jane's, we take the chore out of getting a haircut. Our talented stylist will deliver an industry-leading haircut, a relaxing scalp massage. My favorite, that hot.